All right. Hey, everybody. How are you doing today? I just wanted to address a little bit more the energy of what's going on right now. We just had our Pathfinders group this week, and it just seems like everybody is much more upset by this really dynamic energy than maybe than last year. I feel like last year's Lionsgate was very strong and powerful, but I don't know. Like there's just so much going on in 2025 astrologically for all of us because it is that all of the generational planets have changed signs now. And we are getting Saturn action here. We have a Saturn Mars opposition right now. So there's just a lot going on. So I just want to get a message from Spirit about maybe how to handle this or what you can expect or what's going to be coming after. All right. What is going to be coming after? Lionsgate is tomorrow, the peak of the energy of Sirius. We can now see Sirius in the morning. It's come out from behind the sun, our spiritual sun, Sirius. And we have the full moon in Aquarius, which isn't really talking to any other planet, but it seems like it's one of those things of detachment. That's what it makes me feel like when you try to determine the strength of a full moon or a new moon, you look to see astrologically if it's talking to any other planets, if it's square to Mars or if it's in opposition. Obviously, the sun and moon are in opposition. That's what a full moon is. But is it talking to any of the other planets? And, only in a minor way. But I feel like that's kind of the point because Aquarius is about detachment. And I feel like, as we move into the energy of the age of Aquarius, we are being asked to detach ourselves from a lot of old coping mechanisms or relationships or ways of behaving that have really blocked our growth. And Aquarius is looking to the future always. And a full moon in Aquarius is let go of the hand of anything that has held you back. So let's just take a look at moving through this energy. What is coming after? We're not talking about a long time here. We're talking about next week. Okay. These short porches. So the full moon in Aquarius is the 9th. Tomorrow is the 8th, which is the Lionsgate. On the 11th, we have Mercury going direct. We also have Venus conjunct Jupiter, which is lovely, by the way. And then we move into next week. So let's see what's going on here. So underneath is trust. Seems pretty. I've gotten this card a couple of times, spiritual cleansing. And actually, this is the third time I have seen the Hamsa in the last 48 hours. And the first time was on, I think it was on, I don't know, somebody's on Instagram or something like that. They were talking about, they were wearing a Hamsa charm and a kid came up to them like, "Oh, that's evil. That's evil." And she was like, "What am I doing wrong?" kind of a thing. So I saw that. And then yesterday that the Hamsa came up. I'll read you more about that if you don't know what that is. Home cleansing, home, divine masculine. The divine masculine has been pretty loud as well these last couple days. So I'll read you that one too. But this is a spiritual cleansing of your home. This has to do with the masculine energy that is being purged right now. Okay, I'm just getting I'm getting this like protect your home. Masculine is Mars energy, right? We have Mars opposite Saturn right now. So something about protecting your home and trusting, protecting, cleansing the home, taking action. Oh, wow. There's a rogue card from another deck in here. Ooh, let's see what that is. Really? Tower. Okay. Thanks a lot. And whenever I see that, oh, let's see if are you a good witch or a bad witch? Let's see if this is a good card or not. Protecting your home, and then the Tower showing up. This is strong energy, people. This is no joke. Magician, 3 of Swords, 5 of Cups. Oh boy, 5 of Swords and the 2 of Swords. Some of you are going to be blocking the divine masculine energy as a protective measure. Or some of you are blocking the this is wisdom, right? There's wisdom. I feel like there is anger coming. There's anger coming. Before justice comes, there's anger coming. Okay? So 4 of Cups. Before justice comes, anger comes. Anger, manipulation, loss. This is Virgo and Gemini energy. This is Mercury, right? And Mercury goes direct. Interesting. So it's like it's been building up and building up and building up through the Mercury retrograde, right? Retrograde is inside. There have been a lot of things building up and building up and building up. The 4 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, the King of Cups. Right. Okay. 6 of Wands, Page of Cups, 2 of Wands, about face. Judgment. Someone is going to make an about face. Someone is going to go in a different direction than you thought they were, or that they have said they are going to go. Judgment. 5 of Pentacles. Is that all the 5s? 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. No, we still have 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Okay, I forgot I said that. Wow. There's going to be a throwdown here. There's going to be a fight or a throwdown or something like that. The masculine energy is going to erupt. And I feel like it has something to do with communication or information that's coming out. There's going to be information coming out that has been trapped for a long time or held back for a long time. There's going to be information coming out, and there's going to be an about face, which is going to create an argument, a fight, some kind of altercation. All the 5s are here. The 5 in the major arcana is the Hierophant. If you want to learn tarot from me, there's a link in the description box below. This 5 of Wands is the conflict. 5 of Pentacles is shame. Has to do with shame. And I've been listening. I don't know. Some of you may know this person, Tim Fletcher, who is very gifted. He's a counselor around addiction. And he's been doing a series. I think it's kind of old actually, but it found me yesterday. And it's about shame and about how shame rewires everything. We think it's something about like, only some people have, or only some people have that we see as inferior or less than. And so there's a shame connected to that. But we all have, not all of us, it depends on a lot of variables, but you can see shame being very, very prominent. I mean, a codependent relationship is 2 people who have a lot of shame helping each other or trying to have a relationship. And different kinds of shame. There's a lot of different kinds of shame, and parents instill it in different ways. Messages come through either very quietly or very loudly. Either way, it rewires how the brain thinks about how to handle and get love when there's a feeling of being less than or not worthy. It's all about your self-concept and who you believe you are. Do I believe that I am, lovable? A lot of people don't. A lot of people in this world don't. And they act out their shame in different ways. And sometimes people can act externally, masculine external energy, And a lot of times it's internal about, and really sabotaging things, self-sabotaging relationships, money, career, all of it. It depends on what your parents thought was valuable and what was not, and how you kind of fit into that. So that's a very small packet of information. If you want to learn about shame, go find Tim Fletcher. Just look up Tim Fletcher and shame, and there's a series and you can learn about that. This has to do with someone not willing to see their own shame or not willing to deal with their own pain. Let's just call it pain, and their self-concept is off. And so it either drives toward narcissism or it drives toward self-sabotage, or implosion, and then self-sabotage can be external and internal. So there's definitely something here about an external communication coming out that someone had tried to hide. Someone's trying to hide something from you. And you could know about this. You could know what this is, or you could know that there's a relationship that's kind of rocky right now in your life. And this information comes out. I feel like this is, Mercury going direct in Leo. Leo is about being seen. Leo is the sun. It is very visible. So something coming out, something being seen. And I feel like there's a protective energy here for you watching that says, okay, this is going to impact a lot of people, not just myself. So it could impact a family system. It could impact a career path or a job, a business. It could impact a lot of different communities, and destabilizing things, because this information needs to come out. Like, it's a purge of information. That's what we're feeling about the masculine energy. There's just this purge. And so right now with Mercury going direct, there's a purge of hurt feelings, of rage with that that Knight of Swords, feeling misunderstood or feeling not loved in some way. Okay, so there's information coming through. This can be coming to you. What is this information about? Queen of Pentacles. That jumped out. This did not jump out. Queen of Pentacles, the World, the Devil card, wow, and the Six of Pentacles. There's something about balance and equity. There's something about balance and equity, not inequity, balance and equity, that is going to be communicated. Meaning, I feel like I don't get enough. I feel like that person gets too much. There's just inequity in something, and that's going to be the tipping point that really blows this thing wide open. There's some kind of inequity that is there's some kind of communication. It sets off this firestorm. There's some kind of whatever the communication is, it basically fuels the expectation that things are not fair. Things are not fair. Boom. Okay. So that could cause an about face, but I feel like it's too late. I feel like that about face, there's some kind of, and I guess you could say the sun right now in Leo, and the moon in Aquarius, because we all focus on, it's an opposition. So we are focused on the Aquarian part of this. But the sun in Leo is about visibility. And whenever you have an opposition, I know we just talked about a full moon as if it's one thing, but it's two planets, or our luminaries, the sun and the moon, in opposition to each other. And so the sun as the masculine energy, and the moon is Aquarian energy, right? The moon is in Aquarius right now. And so that means I'm looking to create something equitable, right? I'm looking to create, because Aquarius is in many ways social, causes, and what is fair and what's not fair. We always think of as Libra as the balance, as the arbiter of what's fair and what's not fair. But Aquarius, that's about like relationships. This is about like the appearance of fairness, or the appearance of someone putting their thumb on the scale, and throwing things out of balance. And I feel like it's because of money. It's because of money or privilege or something like that. This can be an independent, like in intimate relationships, or this can be in the world, right? Probably both. Where someone is not being fair, or someone is perceived as not being fair, and then this blows up, which does create like an apology and an about face. But I feel like it's too late. I feel like it creates this tipping point. So this 5 of Pentacles and this 5 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Lover's card. So I kind of like where this is going. This feels like this needs to come out. This is information, communication that has been held inside during Mercury retrograde, and probably a lot longer than that. But because of this Tower energy, and because this anger, this feeling of imbalance, like it needs to come out so we can have a conversation that is meaningful and productive. And Aquarian energy is very detached. Even though it's moon, right? Moon is about our feelings. It's very detached. And the sun, the masculine energy in the fire sign of Leo, the sun rules Leo, right? So the sun is the ruler of Leo, and the sun is this I deserve energy, or I need to be seen energy. I need to be seen a certain way. I'm managing how other people see me. But the opposition of the moon in Aquarius says, cut that shit out. Actually, you don't need to control everybody else's viewpoint of this. You just need honesty right now. There just needs to be honesty, because there's something that's so twisted and manipulated and managed and spun and all of this kind of stuff that it just needs to be the truth. The truth doesn't need a PR guy, right? The truth just rings so honest. It hits you right in the middle of the chest. You're like, that's right. You've had that feeling before. When somebody says something, you're like, oh, preach. That's truth. And I like that this is going towards something that's more stable and solid, because there's better boundaries. There's something about this. So in your relationships, if there's been something festering for a while, I feel like it's going to come out. And it's going to come out because there is a sense of unfairness, or there's a feeling that someone is making things unfair in their favor. And so I do see this. I mean, I like this apology here and this 2 of Wands. It's sort of like there's an apology here. King of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Ace of Swords, there's the Truth, and the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. So there's a sense of, if there is a power imbalance, there's a sense of that being balanced in some way. There's also a sense of the truth kind of being a relieving quality. But I also feel like there's a sense of, in some cases, because of this 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands, in some cases, that's it for the relationship. Like, this truth needs to come out. And it's so pure and so real. And both people are so balanced that they go their separate ways, because the relationship had been about us giving something to each other, whatever that was. And it's not necessary anymore. It's not necessary anymore. we can head off in our own direction. So there's a lot of choice cards here, the Lover's card and the Judgment card. There's a lot of decisions being made, and there's a sense of like, actually now this relationship doesn't work anymore. So whatever this truth is, Mercury retrograde, all of this energy that's going on right now with all of the planets moving, air signs, right? Air signs are about thoughts and ideas and communication. And fire is Mars, about that taking action. Mars just moved into Libra. So there's a feeling of being penned back, held back a little bit. Opposite Saturn. Saturn says, if you want to be in a balanced relationship, you're going to have to do the work. And one of the things you need to do is tell the truth. In order for this to move forward, everybody needs to tell the truth. And I feel like for some of you, that truth is going to be a deal breaker. The other person is going to say, actually, this isn't right for me. And I've been holding that inside. Some of you are going to hear some things about yourself that you may not want to hear. Some of you are going to have to say some things to another person that you may not want to say. But it's like the storm, and then we get the clarity afterwards. So when this comes out, when this truth is spoken, it's pure. And it hits its intended target just perfectly. So that now it changes everything about how you see this person, how they see you. And it could be, yes, I've held my feelings inside. Yes, I do love you. And I can't say it out loud because I don't know how to express that. Or I'm afraid of being abandoned, or whatever the fear is, whatever the reason that this has been held inside. Some of you are going to hear the opposite. Some of you are going to hear like, this isn't working for me anymore. You know which end of this you're on. Okay, so let's continue on. We're looking into, we're only looking into the end of, next week and into mid-August and beyond a little bit, but there's a pivot point here. All right. So I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to look more into this. I'm going to look at what you don't see coming. Let's get some guidance from spirit. Let's see how this plays out. All right. Link is below if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.